Good afternoon. Thanks everybody for coming out on this wonderful Monday afternoon in Greeley. I'm Tom Donkel, the chair of Greeley Forward. We're here today to announce the launch of the No on 1A. No on 1A is a coalition of small business owners, community leaders, elected officials, and longtime residents who are united in opposition of the terrible effects of 1A. To underscore this point, Greeley Forward is disclosing the results of independent analysis of economic impact Cascadia on Greeley's economy. This is the first time this report has been disclosed, even though it was published in draft form in November of 2025. Like the market feasibility study that was disclosed in late 2025, this report includes rigorous analysis performed by hotel and leisure advisors. And like the market feasibility study, this report was obtained through quorum requested by Greeley Forward to the city of Greeley. Let me come straight to the point. The updated economic and job creation figures are better than could have ever been hoped, and an order of magnitude better than the earlier study performed 1 year ago. The draft impact study shows Cascadia would generate $2.92 billion in combined economic impact over the first 10 years of operation. Cascadia will generate nearly 5,200 new jobs, including 1,385 new jobs once Entertainment District is up and running, plus 3,759 construction-related jobs during build-out. And we have great news for downtown businesses and our locally owned shops and restaurants. The benefits extend to beyond the entertainment district throughout our city. The study estimates $61.7 million in annual spending at local businesses citywide, leading to the creation of 339 new jobs in Greeley and outside the district. Delay means lost time, lost momentum, and a real risk that Greeley loses competitive ground to other cities. This is why we say clearly and confidently, don't delay, vote no on 1A. I would like to call on Greeley Demands Better to a publicly moderated debate. Thank you. Now my pleasure to introduce Greeley's Mayor, Dale Hall.
Woo! Thank you, Tom. As mayor, my responsibility is to look at jobs, opportunity, and the long-term health of Greeley's economy. Cascadia is projected to support nearly 5,200 new jobs, including construction jobs and permanent positions once fully operational. These are good-paying jobs, jobs that support families and keep young people in Greeley. We have spent years exploring Cascadia from every angle, and I am proud of our city council for asking the hard questions and pushing for the best possible details. Let me share with what we successfully negotiated for on behalf of our community. First, we shared a commitment to shape growth responsibly with infrastructure, guardrails, and long-term benefits for our community as top of mind. Creating that infrastructure also creates jobs, nearly 4,000 new jobs during the construction phase alone. And once the entertainment district is operational and hosting events, the independent study estimates up to 1,300 new jobs in hospitality, events, maintenance, retail, and services. And that doesn't include the new jobs that will come from the developer paying $56 million to improve Highway 34. Over 1,300 jobs per year come from operations alone: hospitality, events, maintenance, retail, and services. Here is my warning and my plea to my fellow Greeley residents. Ballot Measure 1A does not stop Cascadia. It only delays it by at least a year. Voting to repeal the zoning for Cascadia puts all these benefits at risk and threatens more than 5,200 jobs. Most importantly, this project works for Greeley. It works for the entire city. It works for residents. It works for our roads. I believe Greeley should move forward with confidence, not hit pause when we don't need to. That's why I'm telling my friends, vote no on 1A. Let's move Greeley forward. And now to tell us about the long-term community benefits in the new economic impact study, I'm pleased to introduce Commissioner Kevin Ross.
Thank you, Mayor Hall. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I'm going to give a little perspective from the county. When we think of the Cascadia project from a county perspective, this is a once-in-a-generation economic opportunity. The economic analysis that Greeley Forward has shared projecting $2.92 billion of total economic impact over the first 10 years alone. In other words, Cascadia is going to make possible for Greeley to strengthen public services that people rely on every day, like plowing our streets. I mean, look at all this snow. I mean, I'm hoping eventually, though, we'll get some snow and that will come into play, right? Policing our streets. People's security comes first and foremost. They want to fix our roads and also address our homelessness problem. Over 30 years, Cascadia is expected to generate $459 million for the city of Greeley and over $625 million of state Colorado new income tax. These revenues are disproportionately carried by visitors to this project. What do I mean by that? It's very simple. For every dollar spent by a Greeley resident at the Cascadia project, $5 will be spent by those visiting the Cascadia project. That's nearly 80% carried by visitors coming into our community. That is huge. And I'll repeat what we've already heard today. Cascadia will generate hundreds of millions of dollars in new tax revenues. And that's because Cascadia will draw visitors to come spend their money right here in Greeley, Colorado. That's why 1A is such a bad deal for Greeley. Overturning the approval of this zoning would have any effect other than delaying this project for more than a year. And what does that mean? Well, folks, in the construction world, time equals money, and this is horrendous for this economy. Delaying this project in any way would create real harm. Thousands of jobs would be unnecessarily delayed by a year or more, and local businesses and restaurants would lose out on all the spending and the new customers that would potentially be coming down during the construction phase. Zooming out to Weld County's perspective, Cascadia is going to be great for us all. That's why I am urging every resident to vote no on 1A. And with that, I am pleased to represent Greeley's Mayor Pro Tem, Melissa McDonald.
Thank you, Commissioner Ross. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. During dozens of public hearings, meetings, study sessions, and constituent meetings, I have heard a simple truth over and over again. Cascadia isn't just an economic project, it's a community asset. That vision has guided every decision we've made and has shaped how we have approached potential anchor tenants and negotiated the most favorable terms and access for our residents. I want to start by affirming that the entertainment district is owned and controlled by the city of Greeley. This ownership means that Greeley is the sole position of ensuring public benefit and accountability, and with the singular responsibility to protect and shield the community from risk and harm. I want to share a few details about this incredible new community asset, the entertainment district. Once built, the district can host more than 200 concerts, games, community events every year. That means more reasons for families to stay local, connect, and enjoy Greeley. From concerts to youth sports to culture events, this isn't just about community life, it's not just dollars. When we talk about building community, we talk about all of Greeley. To that end, an exciting feature of Cascadia is a new mobility hub that will connect downtown Greeley with Cascadia, bringing more people into our local businesses and restaurants. Greeley deserves spaces that bring us together. We have let opportunities pass us by. If this project is not in Greeley, it will be in another community, I guarantee it. This is our moment for our residents, for our community. This project will make us a destination city. Our future generations deserve to have something to be proud of. That's why I will personally make it my mission to ensure that all the youth of Greeley have access to enjoy these amenities. For every family, grandparent, working professional who want to have more reasons to stay in Greeley, invest in Greeley, and vote no on 1A. I would like to now introduce the former Mayor Gates, who is going to provide an update on the repayment of the certificates of participation.
Thank you, Melissa, and good afternoon. I feel like that scene in Godfather where I keep trying to get out and they keep pulling me back in. I'm kidding, of course. This is a very important issue for Greeley, and I think everyone with a voice needs to stand up and get the word out why 1A would be disastrous to the city of Greeley if passed. There's been a lot of controversy over this project, and a lot of that has been caused by misunderstandings and misinformation about the $115 million in certificates of participation used to kickstart the financing at Cascadia. Greeley has used COPs for years, as has UNC for the new medical building. Greeley is even using certificates of participation to help fund the early stages of the downtown civic center. That's due in large part because the COPs assigned to Cascadia were issued last year, and the city is on track to fully repay the Cascadia COPs by the end of this year in 2026. The repayment of these COPs is important, and the consequences in delaying Cascadia by overturning the zoning would severely disrupt the payment schedule. If that happens, it would create a ripple effect that would be devastating for the downtown project as well. I want to be clear. A yes vote injects malicious uncertainty into a financing structure that is currently stable and performing as intended, as we're legally required to do. For every resident who supports revitalizing our downtown, I say vote no on 1A. Let's support our entire city. It's now my pleasure to introduce Ryan Bach, the president of the Colorado Eagles, to discuss their historic lease with the city of Greeley.
Thank you, former Mayor Gates. On behalf of the Colorado Eagles organization, we are incredibly excited for our fans and for the future of our youth hockey and calling Greeley home in 2028. We're currently at 140 sellouts at Blue Arena, but it goes far beyond professional hockey. It's about creating more opportunities for kids, families, and expanding our youth and amateur programs. The city of Greeley is building a year-round destination for sports, concerts, and community life. The added ice allows for our youth to grow in so many areas that we haven't been able to touch on. It includes youth hockey, figure skating, learn to skate programs, the list goes on. But the impact won't just be felt on the rink. This facility will become a premier hub for regional tournaments, driving the surge of tourism and economic growth for our local hotels, restaurants, and businesses. We are very proud as an organization to play a role in a legacy that will benefit this community for generations to come. To every hockey player, hockey mom, and fan out there, don't freeze Greeley's future. Vote no on 1A. Now it's my honor to invite up Councilmember Johnny Olson, who will discuss transportation and Highway 34.
Thanks, Ryan. You guys have heard a lot of great things of how this project affects our economy, jobs, and even the future of a whole city. The opportunities that exist are important. I want to talk a little bit about infrastructure and transportation. This project not only does all the things you've heard from the people behind me, but it also improves infrastructure, water, sewer, the ability to grow smart out on this corridor on US 34. The US 34 corridor, anybody that's ever driven that knows that it's already a disaster. You've been at County Road 17 today and been backed up for miles, going through 3 or 4 cycles. This project through the GID will improve that intersection. It will get an interchange. It will improve the mobility and improve the city of Greeley's residents and all of northern Colorado's ability to move east-west along that corridor. By delaying this with this vote, it puts that cost at 4% per year at around $68 million. You add 4% onto that every year that we delay this, it causes us more money, more payment coming out of pocket. When we do this project through the GID, US 34 and 17, we are allowed as city council to be looking at other priorities to put that money that we would have had to find to put out there to drive other projects. This not only helps us with US 34, but it also drives the priorities through infrastructure, transportation in the city of Greeley. I urge all citizens of Greeley to vote no on 1A because it's important not only for all the economic jobs and everything, but also the future mobility of our community. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Bill Rigler. I'm the campaign spokesperson for Greeley Forward. We're happy to entertain any questions from BizWest or our friends at the Tribune. I just want to begin the comments or the question period just by reiterating something that campaign chair Tom Donkel offered at the end of his remarks. We publicly invite and welcome a public debate and forum with Greeley Demands Better. We believe these issues are important to the history and to the future of Greeley alike, and we believe this is a conversation that deserves to be held in the open and not in the Facebook comment section. With that, I'm happy to open up this press conference to any questions.
I would like to ask, for the feasibility study and the economic impact study, those are on a draft form. We know when the final versions of those and other studies will be released.
Yeah, thank you. So Chris Wood from BizWest just asked what the timing is for the release study for the 2 studies performed by Hotel and Leisure Advisors, a nationally recognized firm specializing in the hotel and leisure industry and economic modeling. 2 reports, a feasibility study and an economic impact study, were submitted in draft form to the city in November. We secured both copies through a Cora request. The final draft versions of both studies will be presented at the January 13th City Council hearing, and we believe will be published in the public record as part of the council packet this Friday. I do also want to reiterate a comment that is explicitly made in the H&LA executive summary, and that is that the feasibility study and the economic impact study should not be separated out. They should be read in toto, and they should be read as complementary to help fill in different pieces of information gaps. Mr. Duncan?
Oh, okay.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Sure. All right. Thank you all for your time. Happy New Year.